Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. This is just my thoughts with Rob Markman. We have some breaking news. A sentence has been handed down in the Diddy trial. The judge handed down the sentence today, and Diddy will serve 4 years, 50 months to be exact. He was handed down 50 months by the judge today, just momentarily. Now, the prosecution was seeking an 11-year sentence, and the defense was seeking time served, which is 14 months. He's been locked up for 14 months. The judge said that he felt that 11 seemed what was more than necessary, and that 14 months time served was not sufficient enough. And so he handed down a 50-month sentence. That's 4 years and 2 months. Now, Diddy, my assumption is Diddy has already served 14 months. So out of his 50-month sentence, you knock that off and he does 36 months because he has time served. So that's 3 years. And I believe, and I'm not sure, I should have looked this up. I'm not sure, but I believe in federal prison, you do about 80% of your time, depending on good behavior. You complete certain programs. You don't get into trouble while you're locked up. I believe there's an opportunity to get about 20% of that shaved off. So maybe he could be home in 2.5 years is what I believe. Just to be clear on what the charges were, Diddy was convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. And so that's what he was sentenced for. He was cleared of he had a more serious sex trafficking charge, and he was cleared of that, not guilty. And he had a racketeering conspiracy charge, and he was cleared of that, the RICO. I think I thought just me being a betting man, just my personal feeling, not based off of anything, but just following this case, I thought he would get somewhere in the 5 to 7 range. I did not see a world where he was gonna be let out today and get time served. I just didn't see that as a possibility based off of all the things that we've heard in this case, all the things that we've seen. The judge kind of spoke about this a little bit of obviously he was cleared of the RICO and he wasn't on trial for the domestic abuse against Cassie. We also saw that video that was tough. You can't unsee that. But all of that stuff is still taken into consideration in the type of way. Like, it's still kind of all part of it. And look, again, I don't think there was a world where he's going to get time served. I think 50 months is honestly the best that Diddy could have hoped to get after all this. Yeah, man, that's it. Today in the courtroom, his children got up and spoke to the judge and on their father's behalf about how, asked the judge for leniency and to have their father home so he can raise their kids, so he can raise them. Diddy spoke on his own behalf and asked for leniency and asked for the judge to take into consideration that he wants to go back home and be a father, and that he learned his lesson, and his mom is sick and he wants to be able to take care of his mother, and that, he's already been kind of destroyed and his business is destroyed, and he's clean. He said that he's clean and he's sober and hadn't been for however many years, and he's been doing programs in prison to help other prisoners, and that he's truly learned his lesson, and that he felt that if he was set free, that he could do good by telling his story and being a precautionary tale for others, and if he could help others resist whatever urges, I guess, that they went that he went through. Like, if he could be a cautionary tale for nobody to go through this, that he could do good out there. And the judge just didn't see it that way. Again, it's tough, man, but I think 50 months is more than fair. But we'll see. People will feel how they want to feel. First and foremost, the victims. Cassie wrote a letter to the judge too, asking the judge not to let him out because she was fearful, and Diddy wrote the judge a letter on his own behalf. So there's a lot of back and forth. The judge considered all things. But to the victims, specifically the Jane Doe and Cassie in this, but there were other victims as well and other people affected by this. First, my sympathies go out to them. My sympathies definitely go out to his children and his family. Like, Diddy didn't do this. I mean, the Diddy did this. The family didn't do this. So the children have to live with this, especially the younger children. So my sympathy goes out to them. This is just tough. There's no winners in this, right? And then to y'all who are watching, people who may have went through something like this, I understand how just this subject can be triggering for some. So my heart goes out to y'all as well. And then from the music angle, man, Diddy was somebody who inspired us, man. Like one of the greatest music producers of our generation, maybe of all time. Just the way he kind of curated and arranged and produced and put out music. Just amazing catalog. As a businessman, an inspiration to so many of us. And that legacy is destroyed, is ruined permanently by his own doing. This is not me saying that he's a victim, or this is not like what was me. By his own doing, by his own choices, by things that he did. Now when we talk about Diddy and before is the legacy and the music and how great he was and how amazing the music made us feel. And that conversation is changed permanently. Like it's hard not to speak about him and not to speak about this, at least in the present. I don't know if 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years down the line, how they look at him, what will be remembered. But it's hard not to imagine that this taints his legacy forever. And again, they're real victims here, so fuck the legacy. But I say that taints the legacy through his own actions, through his own doing. He held the power in this situation, and ultimately, on the other side, had the power to stop it or to not do it altogether. And this thing continued for years and years and years. So, I didn't expect the judge to just hand down a time served. It sucks though. There's no winners. I don't think there's any joy in this shit either way. It was a really heartbreaking case, again, especially for the victims, but so many people are affected now. So that's it. Those are just my thoughts. I feel like I'm rambling now. That's it. But hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Until the next time. All right. Peace.